I did a project in China at Hefei. It was master planned to include protons and carbon. What we did was we master planned the site so that we had basically two buildings, because we built the proton therapy center and that is operational today. But the idea was to add carbons later. And this is not uncommon for many of our clients that are thinking about particle therapy. They might be thinking that it's phase 2. It's important to master plan the site as fully as possible, which is what we did at Hefei. At Hefei, we planned the proton therapy center, which really was a proton therapy hospital because it included inpatient beds. And that's the nature of how they practice healthcare and their expectations for healthcare in China versus how it is in the United States or Canada. We all have different systems and different expectations, and could result in a different overall configuration of a proton or particle therapy center. We built a proton therapy hospital, but we had pre-planned and master planned the site to include a carbon center as well. And we based it on a certain manufacturer's equipment, and it was the only manufacturer at that time that had perfected a carbon system. Today, that building is master planned on the site. We left that area of the site open for the future carbon center that they will build. And so it's advisable to plan the full phases of your project out day one, so that you can earmark that area of the site, whether it's an expansion of the proton therapy center or it's a separate building, as the case in Hefei. Two separate buildings. But you have to think about circulation around the site, the parking, the logistics of navigating the site when you're master planning that out. And you have to leave enough room, obviously, for the future building. Even though we all acknowledge that that technology is evolving dramatically. And depending on when we actually go back to Hefei and build out that carbon center, the technology will have evolved beyond what we used to master plan it out. But at least we have an earmark area for that building. We can now reverse engineer to some degree, as much as possible, confidently knowing we have enough space for carbon center.